Hello there, and welcome to the third video in my US series. This one, as the name suggests, is all about national parks in the States. The first stop was here at Bryce Canyon, although the name is a bit deceiving because it's not actually a canyon. What it is, it's a collection of natural amphitheatres. These terracotta amphitheatres are formed by structures known as hoodoos. Tall spires of rock formed by erosion over many, many years. Just saying many years probably understates just a little bit how long it really takes for these things to form, but you get what I mean. The most famous one is called Thor's Hammer, for, fairly obvious reasons. I mean, as you can see, right there. If you've seen my Luxembourg video, then you'll know that I'm partial to a bit of snow, so this was an absolute treat. I've seen pictures of Bryce during the summer, and don't get me wrong, it still looks fantastic, but personally, I'm really happy that I saw it covered in snow. This is the first of 3 national parks that you'll see during this video, and spoiler alert, I think this one was my favourite. I can't exactly quantify why Bryce is my favourite, it's just a feeling. After a fair bit of walking, we built up a bit of an appetite, so it was time to head for lunch. The Oreos weren't lunch, by the way, they were just a snack. There wasn't much on the road between us and our next destination, but we found this place. Archie's Food to Die For, a slightly ominous name. Located in a place called Orderville, there wasn't really much around here. That didn't matter though, sometimes these places, just on the side of the road in the middle of nowhere, are the gems, you know? I went for the Utah Philly. It was pretty banging. I mean, I've had a Philly steak in Philadelphia and, it wasn't as good as that, but it was still pretty damn good. Then it was to here, Zion. It would have been cooler if it was underground like in the Matrix, but, whatever. Sadly, because of our itinerary, we didn't really have much time to look around Zion, only about 3 to 4 hours. Which is definitely not enough time to see it properly. There's a bit that looks really cool called the Narrows that I wanted to see, but we didn't get a chance to, so something to go back for. The parts that we did see were still beautiful, obviously, with the added bonus of a bit of wildlife around. But yeah, that's the problem when you've only got a week and you're trying to cram in as much as possible. A bad habit that both Bill and I have that we still haven't gotten out of yet. That was us done for the day, so we headed to our home for the night, Page in Arizona. We got to Page quite late and just made it to the restaurant in time to actually eat. The place was called Gone West, and I opted for the chicken fried steak because I'd never had it before. That white stuff all over the chicken steak is what Americans consider gravy. Yeah, here in the UK, that is not gravy at all. I can see why it's a popular dish though in the States, good hearty comfort food. Although Nashville, this was not, it was still good fun to have a live country band on. That's my jam, I love that stuff. The next morning started off here at the Horseshoe Bend, which is about a 20-minute drive from our hotel. It's like a teaser for the Grand Canyon before you actually get to the Grand Canyon. Speaking of which, topped up on snacks, that was exactly where we were going next. I'd wanted to visit the Grand Canyon for as long as I can remember. It is incredible. I mean, look at it. Maybe you've been already, maybe you haven't, but it's definitely a bucket list thing. It goes on as far as the eye can see. It's huge. I will say though, caveat to that is I was slightly underwhelmed by it. Maybe it was just the anticipation I built up in my own mind. Maybe it was the places that we'd already visited. I think I was just expecting something grander, which may sound a bit dumb, but it makes sense to me. Doing it by car, you spend a lot of time driving between viewpoints, and most of the time in the car you can't really see it. As with the Zion, we were rushing things, so that probably played a little bit into it, that it was kind of, get to a viewpoint, get out of the car, quick look, get back in, get to the next one. It was all very rushed. This isn't to say that it's not an amazing place. I think everyone should go visit. I just didn't connect with it as much as I had done with Bryce Canyon. After that grandest of canyons, it was off to Flagstaff, our penultimate stop of the entire trip. For dinner, we hit up a place called Satchmo's, named after the jazz legend Louis Armstrong. I had beef brisket and a side of mac and cheese. Yes, that massive round thing is supposed to be a side dish. Americans and their crazy portion sizes. In the evening, we checked out some of the local bars. Even though the first place was quite busy, most places weren't. Not really surprising given it was a cold, snowy Thursday night. We played some more pool, I won overall, and that was it. Our time in Flagstaff was over, and our time in the States almost over. Thank you for watching, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the final leg of the US trip.